Aquarius, you guys have the North Node in Pisces in your second house, dealing with personal finances, material possessions, and your personal values. The North Node can represent our path forward where we're meant to grow and evolve. And so there's some evolution meant to happen in our self personal values and shifting towards a deeper, more spiritual approach to your financial well being, redefining your values around money and material possessions. So, listening to subconscious meditation tapes, if that's kind of new to you, might be a useful way of shifting the spiritual approach to finances for some of you. But the shift to the spiritual approach to finances is the key word there. So, the North Node in Pisces encourages a shift away from purely materialistic values to a more spiritually aligned way of managing your money. So, some of you might find yourself reevaluating, what is it that I truly value? Placing less importance on just accumulating wealth for wealth's sake, earning money just to earn money. What is this money for? What do I actually want to spend it on? How do my resources support a higher purpose? This means focusing on ethical investments for some of you, charitable giving, or finding work that really aligns with your personal values, not working just to work. So intuitive financial decisions comes into play here because Pisces is an intuitive sign. And so, with this influence in the second, if we can trust our intuition, yes, logic and practicality are important, and I'll talk about why, particularly with Neptune's influence. But gut feelings can be really key in shaping your financial path here for 2025. So look out for synchronicity signs. 4:34 at 11:11 on the clock when so and so calls you, or you look at this job or such and such thing. It's really about your intuition, though. Seriously, though, about leading you to making choices that align better with your soul's journey. And so, releasing material attachments to material security and getting clear on what you really value is really the key here. Okay. And so this could look like moving towards minimalism or downsizing for some of you on the material level in terms of actually getting rid of some material to open you up to a greater sense of freedom and peace. Okay. Now Neptune's going to come in here and that's going to encourage some of you guys to invest in things that are more compassionate and have more of an environmentally friendly effect on the world. And so green energy related projects or projects that are compassionate towards people or even other animals or just the environment as a whole. Be careful that you're not investing in anything that has confusion around the value of the investments because that might require some careful research. And so if there's anything foggy or blurry, you might want to put the time and due diligence to really understand what it is you're investing in because deception can be very rampant when Neptune conjoins the North Node. So we want to watch out for that as that relates to your money or your finances, that you're not losing money, you're not getting hacked, you're not getting robbed, you're not misplacing your keys or misplacing possessions or access to certain assets. We want to be very careful with that. Now, Mars is moving direct in Cancer in the sixth house of daily work, routines, and health. So refinancing loans or consolidating debts related to work or health expenses can become a priority during Mars's direct motion. And so Mars wants to pay off the karmic debt in the sixth house so that we can get the rewards in the 11th. And so that's how that works. And so it's really about, there was a Leo story going on with Mars about cutting away or ending, severing things related to the audience or the marketplace or clients last December. And then that's going to bring some of that back into the sixth here. And so this can be a good time to refinance or renegotiate with coworkers, employees, if you have any, or any loans connected to health, business operations, or employment. Okay, you can kind of look at what happened around April of 2006 or June of 1987 to see what happened if there were changes in your life related to travel or work opportunities, foreign lands, or work opportunities and places, faraway places from where you live. Okay, so that could be a theme in the first quarter here towards the end of February with Mars moving forward. We have the full moon eclipse in Virgo in the eighth house, and that governs shared resources, inheritance, and investments. So a promotion in a structured industry like healthcare, finance, or analytics could be the way for some of you guys. Improving your long-term financial security through joint ventures or a shared investment. I suggest that many of you focus on leadership opportunities in areas in which you can manage collective resources, such as healthcare administration, financial planning, tax, investing, managing inheritances. These are roles in which if you are doing some bookkeeping type of stuff or documentation, These can offer you enhanced financial stability for the long term. Venus is going to retrograde in Aries. That's going to be a time where you can reevaluate creative ventures related to how you're communicating, update your password, check on your tech, get a new phone. Maybe not get a new phone. Maybe unless it's like a retro, well, Venus retrograde. So it would be a kind of like a possession that maybe is renewed or something like that. But you want to avoid risky investments in speculative markets during this period is really what we want to get to from the financial perspective. We want to hold off on making decisions about investments in local ventures, tech startups, or communication platforms until Venus turns direct. New moon solar eclipse in Aries in the third talks about bringing fresh energy to the third, and that wants to bring through some new business ventures related to tech, communications, or education. But proper planning is essential. We don't want to do this on the day of the eclipse likely either, but we do want to use this time to launch innovative projects in these areas when the time is right and focus on calculated risks to ensure that we've done the right research before we take action. Then Neptune's going to move in there in about May or so, and that's going to suggest a focus on crowdfunding or community supported projects in communication or technology, siblings, co-workers, and social media. Neptune can really blur the lines between what's real and what's fake, so you want to be careful there on the projects you're supporting or getting into or looking to raise money for. And you want to have clear outcomes with what you're doing and why. Having transparent communication is going to be really key with Neptune here in the third. Saturn is going to move into Aries and actually help out with that. And so Saturn's influence here can bring structure and discipline to education, communication, and local business. And so this can be a really good time to set up long-term investments in educational ventures or technology-driven communication businesses. So you want to invest in education funds or structured learning initiatives here, especially if they're tied to local community or technology. Saturn's discipline energy really wants to ensure steady long-term growth, so you want to be patient here for the next 2 years with Saturn in your third house. This is a house of skill building, so do something a little bit every day to build the skills to communicate better with Saturn here. Okay, and then Jupiter is in Cancer in the sixth house. That's going to expand your day-to-day work life and could enhance financial benefits through health-related investments and employee resources. So this is a good time to consider some estate planning or some inheritance strategies that support work-related benefits or investments in health sectors. This can be a good time to reassess your work-life balance in terms of financial goals as well. So Jupiter will be here from the middle of June till the middle of next year. And so really being able to allow Jupiter to work over that year time frame to expand what's going on in the work sector is going to trine the second house and help the finances. Uranus in Gemini in the fifth house talks about creativity, children, and speculative investments. And this is going to be for the remainder of the decade pretty much. And so this talks about innovation coming through tech, entertainment, or speculative markets. So investing in AI, quite frankly, is going to look very good for some of you guys. Cutting edge technology like fintech, entertainment, or communication. So long as you're prepared for the volatility, there's going to be some potential high rewards for you guys there. Then, of course, we have the eclipses in September, and that is going to bring a culmination to the story that came up early this year. And so look out for that. New beginnings in the houses that relates to the new moon eclipse, and the solar eclipse is going to talk about culmination. Now, one of the things I want to talk about too is, you guys have had Pluto in the 12th house, and now it's finally moving into the first house of you. And so a lot of that has to do with, like addictions or affecting your ability to sleep, or maybe even some activation as it relates to foreign lands. And now this is about how can you change your fortune as it relates to how you communicate. This is about writing. This is about spiritual philosophy. This is about putting yourself out there. This is about a movement that changes and transforms society. And many of your Aquarians are here on this earth during this time to be the ones who push this forward. So this is a 20-year moving energy in the background. But this is really your time to be on the planet and to shift things and to shake things up in many ways. And so allowing that to influence your finances as well in the Uranian sense of something new is meant to come through you. And that involves releasing attachments to make space for that. So that's looking really good. especially as it relates to cutting edge technologies. Feel free to invest in those. You can check out my 2025 yearly report if you're curious which sectors and stocks I'm looking at from a financial astrology perspective. And if you want to book a session with me to look at how the energies that I've covered generally are going to affect you at a deeper dive personally, feel free to check me out and do that. If not, best of luck to you with what you have here. It looks like a good year ahead. Be well, one love to you, and peace.
And whenever I do the research, for Sama and when we do it together, I go back and do the research 10 years back. So it is a lot of work behind. The way I wrote, and actually I'm not going to talk about each individual sign. Sama, you're going to actually summarize that for them right now in this video. But I wrote about 45 pages for each individual sign. The best is to purchase that for your rising sign, but actually you can purchase it all and give it to your friends as well if you would like to. But the other thing is, I would recommend that to purchase it for your rising, after your sun sign, and after your moon sign. So, on the other hand, what I really wanted to say over here, you already talked about the career and but this is really finance based. It is, guys, I went really deep into to giving you opportunity to watch out for market and which companies to watch for, which companies to invest in, and I checked it each of them individually. So a lot of sweat and blood went into this.